Her text arrived at 8:42 p.m. Working late at the office conference. Don't wait up. Heart emoji felt off. It wasn't part of her usual rhythm. She only added it when she wanted to soften something. Distract, divert. I stared at the message for a moment. My reflection ghosted across the phone screen. Then I replied, "Hope you and Jake from accounting nail the presentation." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. Silence. 20 minutes later, the front door slammed so hard the picture frames trembled. Her keys rattled in her hand like her nerves were trying to escape her body. She stood there, face pale, breath quick, eyes darting everywhere except at me. And that's when I knew. Whatever I suspected, it was already real. I didn't ask her where she'd been. Not that night, not the next. She rambled something about a sudden cancellation, about a power outage at the office. Her story stumbled over itself. I didn't interrupt. I just nodded, the way a surgeon might nod before making an incision, because something inside me had already started cutting. For months, she'd been changing in small ways. Different perfume, late nights that multiplied like lies, a faint hum in her voice whenever her phone buzzed. And Jake? He was always in those stories now. Jake said this. Jake helped me with that. Jake thinks I'm a natural at presenting. The first time I noticed, I brushed it off. The second time, I remembered it. The third time, I recorded it. Now every syllable of his name echoed in my head like a countdown. Still, I said nothing. Silence is a scalpel when used correctly. Over the next week, I became invisible in my own home, watching, waiting. She thought I was busy with work. I let her think that. While she showered, I noted the times her phone lit up. Always the same number, always labeled office line. I checked the call logs later. It wasn't the office. It was Jake. I followed her once, not in the cliché sense, no trench coat, no dark alley. I just happened to take a drive one evening near her office. Her car wasn't there. But Jake's car was. Parked outside a small Italian restaurant. 2 wine glasses. 1 half-empty bottle. I drove past slowly. I didn't stop. I didn't need to. The truth was already waving from behind the window. That night, when she came home smelling faintly of red wine and guilt, she smiled like nothing was wrong. I smiled back, memorizing the curve of her deception. I began gathering evidence, not to accuse, but to understand the architecture of her betrayal. Every lie is built on precision. So is revenge. It was Thursday when I got confirmation. Her company had no office conference that night, no late meeting, no overnight schedule. I knew because I'd called HR, pretending to be a client. Calm, polite, inquisitive. And then I got the final piece, a photo. A colleague of mine, someone she didn't know, saw her at a hotel bar with Jake. Sent me the image without a word. She was laughing, head tilted, eyes soft. The same look she used to reserve for me. The human heart doesn't break, it just recalibrates. That night I printed the photo, placed it in an envelope. No note, no explanation. When she came home, I left it on her pillow. From the kitchen, I heard the sound of paper sliding from the envelope. Then stillness, thick and heavy. She didn't call my name. She didn't speak at all. She just stood there for a long time, breathing like someone who'd been dragged underwater and finally realized how deep they'd gone. The next morning, she tried to start with small talk. Coffee, weather, the kind of words that taste like cardboard when trust is gone. Finally, she said, "You found out." I looked up. I confirmed. Tears came fast, rehearsed, desperate. It didn't mean anything. It was just a choice, I finished. She flinched. "Please, let me explain." "I don't need your version," I said. "I already have the truth, the unfiltered one." Her lips trembled. "I made a mistake." I tilted my head slightly. "You made several." There was a long pause before she whispered, "Do you still love me?" It was the wrong question. I love the version of you that died in that photo, I said. The rest of you? I don't know who that is. She covered her face, sobbing quietly. The sound didn't reach me. It couldn't. I didn't throw her out. I didn't scream. I just gave her silence. And silence, when stretched long enough, becomes a mirror. She avoided me for days, drifting around the house like a ghost afraid of its own reflection. The guilt grew claws, and I let it. Then one night I spoke, calmly. I booked you a room, I said, at the same hotel where you stayed before. You can go there tonight, alone. Her face drained of color. Why would you? Because that's where you belong now, with your decisions. She tried to speak, but her voice broke halfway. Go, I said, before I start remembering what it felt like to care. She left with a suitcase half-zipped and a heart half-beating. I watched her drive away, the taillights fading into the kind of darkness that never ends. The house feels different now, quieter. Not emptier, just honest. Her scent lingers in the hallway, faint, almost apologetic. I don't erase it. Let it fade on its own, the way she did. People think betrayal destroys love. It doesn't. It dissects it. It shows you what parts were real and what parts were decoration. She texted once, a week later. I'm sorry. I stared at it for a moment, then deleted the message. Some things deserve no echo. The truth is, I didn't lose her that night. I lost her the moment she thought I wouldn't notice. And when she came running home in panic, she didn't find anger waiting. She found her own reflection. Cold, precise, and unblinking. The kind of truth that doesn't forgive, it just ends.